Family, what's going on? Listen, get in here, and get in here now. I'm gonna start sharing to some family and friends and seeing if I can get some people connected. But hey, right now, go ahead and connect and get in here. I've got some incredible things to share today. And I just believe that if you connect today, you're going to be absolutely blessed and helped by it. And so, come on, everybody, jump in, invite people, get people connected. Come on, just real quick. I want to welcome everybody to E3 with John Guns. This is absolutely one of the most important things happening on social media right now. I can tell you that for a fact. It's one of the most important things happening on social media right now. I promise you it is. And I believe that anyone who connects is going to be greatly impacted. So right now, jump on and become a part of this amazing experience. I'm inviting some people right now, just kind of encouraging some people to jump on and encouraging some people to connect. So right now, because I promise you, what I'm getting ready to share is going to change lives. What I'm getting ready to share is going to change lives. So are you inviting? Are you sharing? All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome. Thank you all for jumping on again. As you see, I invite a lot of people. So if you don't mind, join me in inviting people tonight. I want to talk tonight about living an optimistic life. Now, again, I've got a lot of content and I share a lot of different things. And but I promise you tonight that you're going to be. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to expand you, and it's going to put you in a powerful and positive place. I believe right now that optimism is one of the most powerful traits anyone can possess. I believe that when you become an optimistic person, when you become an optimistic person, you literally position yourself to do the most extraordinary, amazing things. So I want to challenge you right now to invite 10 people on and to get them to watch to watch E3. Because tonight, what I want to do is I want to expand your mind and I want to put you in some real empowered places. All right. So let's begin with the simple definition. What is an optimistic person? Okay. What is an optimistic person? Well, interestingly enough, an optimistic person thinks the best possible thing will happen. All right. Immediately, if you're watching right now, put in the thread, um, I believe the best for me and others. I believe the best for me and others. I know that's long, but right now, just put in the thread, I believe the best for me and others. One of the most important things that an optimistic person does every day is that they approach life believing the best for themselves and for others. And so, watch this, an optimistic person thinks the best possible thing will happen and hopes for it, even if it's unlikely. So, when you begin to think about what an optimistic person is, when you begin to think about what an optimistic person does, the first thing you got to begin to understand is that an optimistic person is going to wake up every day and believe that the best is supposed to happen for them. All right. Thank you guys for sharing. Watch this. When you understand Deidre, when you understand that optimism is the fuel that drives successful people, when you understand that optimism is the fuel that drives successful people, you will begin, LaJona, to buy into this notion that I'm supposed to succeed, right? I'm supposed to succeed and I'm supposed to experience the best of life. An optimistic person then faces everything with this mentality. So let's kind of jump right in, right? Let's jump right in. So every time I give you a principle, I'm gonna tell you it's a principle, and then what I want you to do is I want you to join me by putting it in the thread tonight. All right. Here's the first thing that ensures that you can live an optimistic life. The first thing is that you have to go to war with the negativity bias. The first thing is that you have to go to war with the negativity bias. That one of the most amazing things about people who win this battle is that they win this battle knowing that they have to go to war with the negativity battle. I mean, seriously, they have to go to war. They have to go to war. I'm trying to focus here. They have to go to war. Watch this. They have to go to war with the negativity bias. All right. They have to go to war with the negativity bias. Okay, I'm focused now. Watch this. The negativity bias is our tendency to not only register with negative stimuli more readily, but dwell on these events. So when I operate from the negativity bias, I dwell on negative things more than I dwell on the positive things. It is a proven fact. It's a proven fact. You ready? It's an absolutely proven fact that we are 4 times more likely to believe the negative than we are the positive. We're 4 times more likely to embrace the negative than we are the positive. And what's amazing is the fact that because most of us have never defeated the negativity bias battle, we find ourselves always in tension with ourselves, especially when you're trying to live your life in a positive and effective way. So the first thing you got to do is that you got to go to war with the negativity bias. You got to go to war with it. You have to decide that it is the enemy, right? You have to decide that the negativity bias is the enemy and that you are determined that your life is not going to be spent living in the world of the negativity bias reality. But here's the second thing. This is tied to the negativity bias. You have to reset your thinking. You have to reset your thinking. Now, what does that mean? When you reset your thinking, you do 3 things. Now, there may be other things that you do, but when you reset your thinking, that means that you understand that you have to hit the start over button with the way you think. You have to hit the button internally that allows you to begin to think. So here's the second principle that I want you to put in the thread. Reset your thinking, okay? 3 ways to reset your thinking. Commit to a routine that grows you. Commit to a routine that grows you. The way you reset your thinking is that you have to commit to a routine. But what's powerful is when you commit to this routine, then what you find yourself doing, this is major, what you find yourself doing is thinking and functioning differently. You find yourself thinking and functioning differently because your routine breaks the pattern of your thought process. This is huge. Your routine breaks the pattern of a negative thought process. So the moment that I say I want to reset my thinking, I have to begin to look at the routine in my life that begins to break negative patterns, negative ways of thinking, negative ways of interpreting life, negative ways of managing situations, negative ways of breaking these certain behavioral tendencies that are not good for me. The routine is huge. But here's the other thing. Develop a meditative lifestyle. Become a person who commits to meditation. Now, I'm not talking about sitting Indian style with incense burning. Now, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. What I'm talking about, though, is carving out space every day that you take your thoughts and you put your thoughts in a God-centered space. And then you call your thoughts to accountability. And then you begin to meditate. Now, part of meditation can be what you're reading. A part of meditation can be what you're listening to. A part of meditation can be, what you're reading and what you're listening to. A part of what you need to do is that in order to become a person who engages in meditation, who has a meditative life, is begin to study people who teach meditation. And again, I'm not talking about going, however far you want to go. But meditation for those of us who are Christian is solitude prayer. It's solitude prayer. Is engaging in solitude and then entering into a space of prayer. And so when I become a person who operates in solitude, what I'm really operating in is I'm operating in a space of aloneness with God that allows me to synergize my thoughts so that nothing can continue to distract me. If I want to reset my thinking, I have to be a person who engages in meditation. This is so important. When I become a person who engages in meditation, then what I do is I begin to reset the way I think, because now my thoughts are being put in a quiet space where I can begin to work through all of the challenges of what I'm thinking. But here's the third thing: feed your inner life. Feed your inner life. Again, I gave you meditation. I gave you routine, but now feed your inner life. How do you do that? Let's go back to what I said earlier. You read and you pray. You read, you pray, and you listen to certain types of music that brings a calming effect upon your life. Most people who are successful do an amazing job of calming themselves down so that they can hear what they need to hear as truth. Wow. Most people who are successful, they do an amazing job of calming themselves down. Okay? Calming themselves down and centering themselves so that they can begin to engage in the kind of practices that will allow them to feel healthy and strong and vibrant. So let's go back. We reset our thinking by committing to a routine, developing a meditative lifestyle, and then feeding your inner life. You got it? Okay, let's go to C. Here's the third thing to begin to build a life of optimism. You ready? Connect to those who inspire you. This is so big. Connect to those who inspire you. Diane Bethel, I ran upon a quote by a lady by the name of Layla Akita. Layla Akita, Akita. Layla Akita. And here's what she said. And the quote opened me up. It opened me up. It just opened me up. The quote is, every great achiever is inspired by a great mentor. Every great achiever is inspired by a great mentor. Those who understand then that in order to be successful, you're not successful in a vacuum, you're successful in relationship. So immediately when I think of growing as a person, I think of the people that I allow myself to be inspired by. You have to choose people who inspire you, who do what you want to do. Like right now, I'm listening to certain people on YouTube. I'm opening myself up to certain people. I'm allowing certain voices to speak to me, right? I'm in a season where I have a consultant and I'm allowing this person to speak to me. I enter into conversations with people who are helping me think through what I want to accomplish. Right now, I'm listening to a lot of Tony Robbins, and here's what's deep. I love preaching, but I'm not listening to a lot of preachers right now. I'm opening myself up to different kinds of voices that are inspiring me. I read a lot of quotes, like the quote I just gave you, quotes about people by people who are living out the quote. Why is this important? Because when you connect yourself to those who inspire you, that's my goal, Cotton. My goal is to inspire you guys. So I get up here every Monday, and my goal is to inspire you, to push you to new and exciting places. And so, so I want to suggest 3 types of relationships. All right. The first relationship is the relationship with the person that directly mentors you. That relationship is important. The person that directly mentors you, right? That's the person that you choose as your mentor, and they directly mentor you, right? And that person is a person who's willing to invest their best in you. They're willing to invest their best in you. They're willing to give you their best, right? and they're willing to do it in relationship. But here's the second type of mentor. And this is the one that I'm experiencing now. It's people that you're listening to and reading. Who are you listening to and who are you reading? Who are you listening to and who are you reading? And the question becomes, does this person's content cause you to think differently about every aspect of your life? Does this person's content cause you to reflect once you get finished hearing them? Does this person's content cause you to feel that there is more room for growth and development? Okay. I'm very careful in what I listen to now. I'm very careful in who I listen to. And so, it's the direct mentor, the one you can pick up the phone and say, hey, I need you to help me with something. At the beginning of the year, my executive pastor, Pastor Cotton, picked up the phone, called me and said, hey, Bishop, will you evaluate me? Will you show me the things I need to work on? Okay. That's a direct relationship. But there are people he reads, like John Maxwell, right? He doesn't know John Maxwell personally, but John Maxwell has become an influence in his life. But here's the third mentor. You ready? The third mentor is experience. The third mentor is experience. And by experience, I'm not talking about just pain and misery. No, I'm talking about all of those opportunities for exposure. One of the greatest mentors is exposure. Is when God puts you in experiences that exposes you. What experiences is God giving you that is exposing you to possibilities, driving you to become amazing and incredible? This is why you need to value mentors. This is why you need to value the people who directly are in your life. Don't ever take them for granted, because when they're gone, you're going to miss them dearly. Don't ever take them for granted. But then those people that you're reading, that you're listening to, some of those people I will never meet, but they are mentoring me in this season. But here's the third thing, exposure. Every door God opens for you, every time God puts you in a different environment, that is supposed to be mentoring you. Most people are not sensitive to their life and their journey, so they're missing all of the wonderful ways that God is exposing himself and who God wants them to be. And so watch this. So it's direct mentorship, it's indirect mentorship, and it's exposure. Here's D. And D is major for me, because this is where a lot of us are failing ourselves and living an optimistic life. When you become an optimistic person, you become solution driven, not problem consumed. Wow. I'm going to say it again. You become solution driven, not problem consumed. I think this is a book, y'all. You become solution driven and not not problem consumed. Most of us only speak of the problem, right? I don't have enough money. Okay. We speak of the problem. I don't have enough people to help me. We speak of the problem. I'm overweight. We speak of the problem. My marriage isn't good. We speak of the problem. I can't seem to get my business off the ground. We speak of the problem. And so what ends up happening, Tiffany, is that we spend our whole life kind of outlining problems, Cotton. We just outline problems, Devon. We just outline problems, Alfreda. And that's all we do. We just outline problems. All we do, Quinn, is talk about problems all day long. All we do is talk about problems. Life is hard. Life is tough. It's unfair. Nobody understands me. Da, 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 da. And we spend time just speaking problems. And what happens is when you are a problem communicator, you will never become a solution-driven person. Right now, I've got some things that I need to work out in our church. I can't concentrate on the problem. I got to focus on the solution. I told Ray today, I had a conversation with Ray today, right, Claude? I had a conversation. My son-in-law is watching. I love him. I'm very proud of him. He's doing some things now that I'm very proud of. Everybody check him out every Sunday at 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Okay. Commercial card. Claude, you don't owe me anything. All right. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. When you become a solution-driven person, your second response after identifying the problem, Kim, watch this, Nehemiah, is to ask the question, what are the opportunities and options within this problem? Okay, watch this, Pastor Don. The first time you hear that there's a problem, what are the opportunities and options embedded in the problem that will birth a whole new thing? What are the opportunities that come when you have a problem? I mean, don't deny that it's a problem, but now start looking at what opportunities you have to convert the energy of the problem into the energy for the solution. You got it? Convert the energy of the problem into the energy of the solution, because it's real easy to have a problem, right? I don't have enough money. Okay, what's the solution? What are we thinking about to generate revenue? Okay, my marriage isn't working. So what are the solutions? My children aren't performing at a high level academically. So what are the solutions? Embedded in every problem are opportunities that will birth a new thing. Everybody's got to get this. There's an amazing quote by a guy by the name of Israel Moore. I can't pronounce their last name, so I'm not going to try, right? Israel Moore. Here's what he says in the book Leader's Ladder. He says, leaders are solution conscious. They don't complain. You will find them repeating this common question. You ready for the question? How will it be done and by who? That is so amazing. The question of effective, successful leaders is how will it be done and by who? I cannot stand people who drop the problem on me and then scurry off for me to have to deal with the stress of it. I cannot stand for people to be in a meeting and give a report and all they give is the problem. They give no solutions. They give no opportunities for they give no opportunity for any kind of resolution. They just simply drop the problem and they go, here's the problem, here's the issue, I'm out. That's where it's like your child, right? Your child who goes in their room and they bring all of their toys. It's like Trey and Zion goes in the room of my grandsons and they bring all of their toys and they drop them in the living room and then they leave. Now, one of us has to clean it up, right? They created a problem, in quotes, and then they go away. Well, that's where some of you are. You are living around people who create problems. They create problems with their perception. They create problems with their interpretation of problems. They create problems with the way they see life. And then they leave you to have to deal with the problem. And what you end up doing is struggling to deal with the problem when the problem was never supposed to be that. It was never supposed to be a problem. So let me give you 3 things to become solution driven. You ready? 1, work on your attitude. The first thing is when you become solution driven, you got to work on your attitude. You got to make sure that your attitude doesn't work against you, right? Because solution driven people have a positive attitude. 2, stay flexible. All right, because the answer may not come the way you thought it was going to come. So stay flexible. The answer may come in a way that's totally different from anything you ever thought. Stay flexible. But here's the last thing. Be accountable to a process of solution. Be accountable to a process of solution. Work on your attitude, stay flexible, and be accountable to a process of solution. Here's E. Here's E. And I'm gonna move real quick now. Here's E. Keep a gratitude journal. That's what I'm trying to get our church to do during Lent, right? Is every day write out something you're grateful for. Write out something. I'm laughing at Tiffany Hall. Write out something you're grateful for, right? Keep a gratitude journal. The more that you, for at least one day a week, you're going to have something to be grateful for. At least one day, at least one time And every day you're going to find something to be grateful for. Even if you negative for 29 hours, even if you're negative for 23 hours and 50 seconds, for at least 10 seconds, you are going to find a reason to be grateful, right? You're going to find a reason to be grateful, right? Yes, I'm going to write these principles in a book. All right, watch this. F, commit to your passion and watch the energy it infuses. Commit to your passion and watch the energy it infuses. Commit to your passion and watch the energy it gives you. There is a powerful quote by a guy by the name of Jim Rohn, like Rome, Italy. Jim Rohn. There's a powerful clue. You ready? Success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. I need everybody to get this. Success leaves clues. People who are successful are not selfish. Success leaves clues. Who are you watching? Success leaves clues. And so, and one of the most amazing things is if you agree to a certain path, your path should produce a passion and the energy that comes with it, and all of a sudden you're more inspired, you're more motivated. Why? You ready? Because whenever you're accomplishing something, it fuels you with greater energy. It's when you're accomplishing nothing, where you have little to no energy. The reason why I'm so energetic is because I am seeing the clues of success. It took me a while to see some of them, but I'm starting to see them, Claude. And so the reason I'm so excited is because I'm seeing the clues and I'm listening to people in my life and in my space that can help me with the clues. I'm seeing the clues. Are you seeing the clues to success? Are you picking up the things in your life that are allowing you to kind of go, oh, I got it. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what that does. Oh, that's how I do that. Oh, this is the attitude I need to have. Oh, I got it. Oh, wow. 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 So this is what I do to change this. Oh, I get it. Watch this. Success leaves clues. And so where the success, so where are the clues? Kim Foster, the clues are on your path. The path that you choose that is driving your passion. And when your passion is on the right path, then guess what happens? There's energy that comes with it, because now you wake up every day inspired. You wake up every day motivated. It doesn't matter how challenging a day becomes. It doesn't matter what monkey wrench is thrown in my days now. I'm learning how not to let the monkey wrench throw me off. Like right when I get finished with this, I'm going on the church board meeting. As soon as I get finished with that, I'm going on seminary on Sunday. Right? I won't be finished tonight till after 9 o'clock. Right? I was on the servants team meeting today, went downtown to the city because Operation Save Our Sons is up for $166,000 grant. You guys pray for us. Came back, talked to the representative of Bounce TV about some commercials as we get ready to reopen our church, and we're marketing and branding who we are. And now I'm up here with you guys, and then I got two other things, right? Listen, here's what's crazy. You're watching me now, and you don't understand that just 10 minutes before this, I was tired. And I said, oh, man, I got to do this, got to do it. And then all of a sudden, I get up here, I start talking, and energy comes. Here's what's amazing. Your path will give you energy. Your path will give you energy. Like every time I get in the car and I drive towards Norfolk, Virginia or Chesapeake, Virginia to see my father, there are gas stations along the way. So when my gas tank gets low, I just pull off the interstate, I plug in, I fill up the tank, and I get back on the interstate. Here's what happens when you are living out your passion will keep refueling you. And you will find yourself constantly driven to do great things and to be great and to go after great things. So how do you find this path, and how do you find this? How do you live this out? Well, I'm going to give you two things. Plan it out. Don't start it and don't have a plan. Plan it out. Write it every day. Listen, over the last several weeks, all I've been doing is just writing stuff in my pad. Y'all see this? I'm just writing stuff. It's so much stuff. I just got pages and pages of stuff that I'm writing now. Write it out. I got a whiteboard I got a whiteboard, and I just put up what I'm doing every day. Write it out. Write out your vision. Write out your dream. Write out your goal. But here's the second thing. Sell out to it. Sell out to it. Sell out to it, right? Sell out to it. But I'm going to throw a third thing at you. Diversify your gifts. Diversify your gifts. What does that mean? If you're going to if you're going to be a millionaire and a billionaire, it ain't going to be just because you do one thing. Watch Michael Jordan. Watch anybody rich. Watch Shaq. Shaq is on 100 commercials. He's doing 100 things. I know people say, you got no. Once you start seeing your path producing, then start looking for other things. Here's why. Because you never want to live your life so that one thing can break you. You never want to live your life so one thing can break you. Find multiple streams of income because your path will allow you to do that. And find multiple ways of expressing who you are because your path will allow you to do that. Look at me. I'm doing, listen, I refuse to be only a preacher. I refuse to be only known as a preacher. So you notice I get up here, I don't preach. I'm doing life principles. Why? Because I'm opening my voice up to do different things, right? I do teaching. I do writing, right? I'm doing different things because I believe that there are multiple opportunities for me to diversify my gifts. Don't let anybody box you in, because if they box you in, they can determine when they tape you in the box. When they box you in, they can determine when they tape you in the box. Two more things, then I'll be done. Release unproductive anger. Release unproductive anger. Release unproductive anger. This is probably one of those buried things that many of us don't get. Release unproductive anger. I'm starting to understand that people who are wounded have a hard time managing conflict in a way that they get something out of it. They have to get their way because of it, right? I want you to hear what I'm going to say. Optimistic people are not people who aren't hurt. There aren't people who aren't disappointed. There aren't people who aren't blindsided. There aren't people who aren't wounded. There aren't people who are not lied on. There aren't people who are rejected. But optimistic people are rejected. They're lied on. They make mistakes. They fail. Optimistic people do all of that. But you want to know what makes them amazing? An optimistic person releases unproductive energy quickly. An optimistic person releases unproductive anger, unproductive thoughts. They release them faster than the average person. The average person, remember, I started this thing with negativity bias. The average person holds on to negative thoughts. They hold on to negative energy, right? And then they become hard and they become cynical and they say, you'll never hurt me again. You'll never do this to me again. They become suspicious. They become easily offended. They become all of that. I know it. I've been there. But here's what I'm starting to understand. I want you to grasp. Can I teach it to you? Is when you release unproductive energy, and I'm gonna deal with this more next week. When you release unproductive energy and unproductive anger, you free yourself to stay fresh and free and open to God. Fresh and free and open to opportunities. All right? Here's the last thing. Thank you all for getting on tonight. It means so much to me to see those of you that I love and I value, and those of you that I don't know, that I hope you will become a part of what we're doing. Here's the last thing. I want everybody to put this in big, bold cap letters in the thread. Live generous. Live generous. Tony Robbins has become an inspiration to me in terms of his voice. And he has this quote. And the quote says, if you're growing, you feel alive. If you're giving, you feel 10 times more alive. If you're growing, you feel alive. But when you start giving, you feel 10 times more alive. Let me tell you something very, very, very powerful. Those who choose to invest in other people and in other people's dreams, those who choose to use their resources to be a blessing to other people, will be amazed at how the universe, God, returns it back to you. One of the most amazing things that I've learned is to live generous. What does living generous mean? It means that you give your best in every conceivable way to help others. E3 for me is not about John Guns. It's about you all. It's about every one of you who will take 30 minutes out of your day to listen to me share what I'm hearing in my time of meditation, my time of prayer. You will always be successful when you build a generous life. When you build a generous life, when you give generously to causes, when you give generously to other people, when you give up your space and your time generously, you will always be amazed at how life works for you. God's love and grace is always released to the person who sows, to the person who gives generously. I want to close with this. I have discovered over the last several years of my life that there's nothing that will be withheld from me if I operate as a generous person. If I operate as a person who is solution driven, and if I see my resources as an opportunity to create solutions, I would be absolutely amazed at the things that will happen. And so the goal now is to live optimistic, is to live this amazing, balanced, extraordinary life where people love to be around you because they sense your energy. They love to be around you because they sense the positivity that comes from your work. That's what I want. I want to be a magnet for people who want to be around me because they sense that I'm excited and inspired every day, that I'm trying to live life the best I can, and that I'm giving my best every day. We want to live inspired lives. So listen to me. If you have not joined E3, right now we're up to about 39 people. If you have not joined the E3 family, then I want you right now, you see it on the screen, text E3 to 84576, E3 to 84576, and you will receive every day one of my inspirational texts. Well, Monday through Friday, right? And so I want to challenge you right now to go and text E3 to 84576, E3 to 84576, and become a part of the E3 family. The third weekend in March, I'm doing my first E3 Engagers weekend where I will spend Friday and Saturday, just 2 hours Friday, 2 hours Saturday, just investing in you, pouring into you some of the principles that I'm learning in life and some of the things that I'm praying through as I become better. But here's the final thing, and I ask you every week. Some of you have already done it. I want to challenge you to become an E3 investor. Become an E3 investor. What is that? Well, right now, you can go to Cash App, $E3JEG, E3JEG, and invest $56 in helping me build out the infrastructure for E3. The books that you're talking about, they cost money. The things that we're trying to do to raise the specter of people. And I'll be very transparent. I'll be very transparent. I'm committed to people of color like never before, to raise the mindset of our people so we can maximize everything we're supposed to maximize. And so I need you to go right now to Cash App, $E3JEG, and become an investor right now. I need to see at least 5 people who say, you know what? I'm going to become an investor to E3. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to right now $E3JEG, $E3JEG. And listen, I'm challenging you to do $56. If you can't do 56, do whatever you can. But at this point, I am moving in an aggressive way to build out the vision of E3, and I need investors. That's what you will be. You will be an investor in E3. And so right now, if you do not get the text, go right now right now and just type in E3 to 84576, E3 to 84576, and become and join the family so you can receive the inspirational texts and the free downloads, because by the end of this week I'm sending another free download, and hopefully you will take it and take advantage of it. And finally, you become an investor to E3. E3. You become an investor by going to Cash App, $E3 JEG. Listen, thank you all for joining me. Next week, I'm going to be back with some more exciting and amazing principles to help you live successful. Thank you all so much for joining me. And remember something very important. Your life is only going to be as good as your effort. Your life is only going to be as good as your effort. So seize the moment, go after it, and believe that the best is yet to come. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care.